Welcome to this episode of Social Distance Television, the show funded during the COVID-19 scare to make our students more aware. As we enter our third week of distance learning in MCPS, things are far from normal. Spring break certainly did not feel like spring break, and classes still don't feel like classes.
People are talking about optimistic new assignments regarding COVID-19, even though we have more than 600,000 confirmed cases in the United States, and we have lost more than 23,000 Americans to the virus.
We will surely get through this. As a country, we'll have to figure out together what normal will look and feel like. As students, we'll have to make sure we are not left out of that process. I'm Elena Pittman.
And I'm Devin Handy.
And you're watching
SDTV. The big question on many people's minds is when will things open up again? But experts are asking us to think of a slightly different question. How will things open up again? Let's see what's in the news.
President Trump has mentioned he wants to open our economy back up May 1st, but many public experts, including some in his own administration, raised questions about that timeline. Stephen Hahn of the FDA said, quote, "It's just too early for us to say whether May 1st is that date." Dr. Fauci, America's leading infectious disease expert, says the country could start opening next month, but only, quote, in some ways.
Closer to home, Montgomery County is starting to feel like a COVID-19 hotspot. We have more than 1,500 cases of coronavirus in Montgomery County, and our first responders can't seem to catch a break. On the good news front, calls to the Montgomery County Police Department are down 25 to 40%. However, on the bad news front, 4 MoCo police officers and 7 MoCo firefighters have tested positive for COVID-19.
The other essential members of our community that need to get more consideration are our pharmacy and grocery store employees. With more and more store employees getting sick nationwide, local governments are starting to take action. Starting this week, all shoppers in Montgomery County, whether at grocery stores, pharmacies, and large retail outlets, are required to wear face masks.
The takeaway from this: keep yourselves and our essential workers safe, stay at home, and if you have to shop, wear a mask.
Back in December 2018, Rosa Gutierrez Lopez, an undocumented immigrant, faced arrest and immediate deportation back to El Salvador. She would have been sent back to a country where she says her relatives had been killed by gang members. She would have also left behind 3 U.S.-born children.
Instead, Rosa found sanctuary in the Unitarian Universalist Church in Bethesda, becoming only the 49th person in the U.S. to seek asylum in a faith-based sanctuary.
We'll leave the politics for another time and show. For now, let's meet Rosa, who was sheltering in place 15 months before the rest of us. Aranza asks the questions and Camilo captures the stunning videos. Here's part 1 of their interview.
Hola, estoy aquí con la señora Rosa Gutiérrez López. Estamos en la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista que está en Bethesda y hoy voy a entrevistar a Rosa sobre su experiencia viviendo aquí.
Emigré de El Salvador en el 2005. Llegué aquí a Estados Unidos un 11 de diciembre del 2005. Yo emigré de El Salvador porque yo tuve una amenaza y ese fue el motivo que me hizo venir a este país, porque este país dice que es libre de expresión y aquí hay seguridad, ¿verdad? Por eso yo emigré aquí.
¿Te ha sentido mucho miedo en su vida?
Sí.
Supongo.
Uh-huh.
Pero ¿me puede contar un poco del contraste del miedo que tiene de ICE, por ejemplo, o de que si la lleguen a deportar, un miedo de que usted si sale de este espacio esté en peligro, contra el miedo que tenía en El Salvador?
Sí, si yo no salgo sin un permiso, sí tengo miedo que migración me agarre y me deporten, porque yo si llego, yo corro peligro. No es como que yo voy a llegar y no me van a hacer nada, no. Dicen que el país ya está mejor, pero
usted no cree.
No, la verdad no. Un día nuestra situación en nuestros países se van a arreglar, pero ahora no es el momento.
¿Cómo ha sido su experiencia viviendo en esta iglesia?
Al principio fue muy dura. Nunca había experimentado estar en santuario en una iglesia, el cual fue difícil adaptarme, pero ahorita yo estoy muy adaptada, más especialmente pues porque están mis hijos conmigo.
Claro. ¿Cómo se siente ser la primera persona que está en esta área que está recibiendo este tipo de refugio?
Me siento bendecida y a la vez un privilegio de haber encontrado esta iglesia. Me abrió sus puertas y también los miembros de esta iglesia me abrieron sus brazos y sus corazones también. Y es una experiencia bonita, claro. A pesar de que no puedo salir, pero igual yo me siento bien.
¿Y usted cree que tiene la esperanza de que más inmigrantes como usted pueda tener esta misma oportunidad?
Claro que sí, porque en el área de Maryland, en el área de DMV, están capacitadas unas iglesias para brindar santuario a las personas que lo necesitan.
Y cuéntame más de sus hijos.
Tengo 3 hijos, una niña que ya cumplió 12 años y un niño que ya cumplió en diciembre 10 años. Y mi niño menor, que él tiene 7 años y él tiene síndrome de Down y tiene necesidades especiales.
¿Usted cree que si usted lo hubieran mandado a El Salvador, usted cree que tuviera los mismos recursos, su hijo?
Llevándomelos a El Salvador, yo primeramente los iba a poner en peligro. Y también allá no hay los recursos que aquí hay para los niños con necesidades especiales. Tengo la bendición de estar aquí, no puedo salir, pero estoy segura, pero con solo el hecho de tener a mis hijos, con eso mi corazón está lleno.
Wow, thank you, Camilo, for capturing that amazing story. Now on to Sox News. Our colleagues over at Sox News never seem to rest. When they're not busy trying to break the news, they're busy trying to fix it. Let's see what they have for us today.
Our guest today has some really exciting news. Isn't that right, Courtney?
So exciting, Bill. Dr. Googly has discovered a cure.
A cure?
Tell us about it, Dr. Googly.
Well, it's not a cure in the traditional sense of a cure. Not a cure then. Precisely. It's a cure based on a hunch, or what we in the practice like to call a cure-runch.
Cure-runch.
Precisely. How does it work, Doctor? What group has been most resistant to getting really sick or dying, as far as we can tell? Young adults.
And teens.
Precisely. And what does that group do that other groups do not do?
Vape.
Marijuana? No. I'm looking for that one thing that teens do that no other demographic does.
TikTok.
Interesting. I haven't considered that one, but not what I was. Tell us, Doctor. Tell us.
Is that a Tide Pod?
Taped to a stick? Precisely. And this, my friends, is also what we in the practice call, and I'll say it loud and say it now. A cure-runch. Fascinating. Science often is.
Well, that's all for today. Stay safe, America.
It's easy to get caught up in the negatives, so let's take a step back and meet up with the students over at the Keeping Positive desk.
Hi guys, my name is Devlin Orland, and I'm going to be recommending a recipe that you can hopefully make at home with ingredients on hand. Then my friend Abby Kessel is going to make it and tell you guys how it goes. So today's recipe comes from this cookbook, Dory's Cookies by Dory Greenspan, and it has some pretty good easy cookie recipes. We're going to try one where you make a chocolate chip cookie, but they're all really tiny and only have one chocolate chip in them. And I'm going to send the recipe on over to Abby now to try it out.
Thanks, Devlin. I'm so excited to be making these to snack on mindlessly through the endless days of quarantine. So the first step to baking anything and to surviving Corona season is washing your hands well for 20 seconds. Now you preheat the oven to 400. 1¼ cup of flour gets mixed with 1/3 cup of whole wheat flour, or in my case almond flour, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Then 1 stick of butter cut into chunks at room temperature is combined with 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/3 cup of lightly packed brown sugar. Then an egg and a teaspoon of vanilla get added. And finally about 60 chocolate chips. I just added the dry ingredients and I'm gonna pulse the KitchenAid on and off about every other minute to ensure smooth blending. There's one-handed right there, no shell. Now that my egg's beaten for a minute, I'm ready to add my vanilla. I just finished mixing my cookie dough. It looks like cookie dough. I have 2 baking sheets lined with parchment paper and my bag of chocolate chips. Now I'm gonna take my dough bowl and scoop out using a teaspoon, about a teaspoon's worth. And then I'm going to roll it into a ball with my hands, add just 1 chocolate chip, roll that into a ball, and then put it on the parchment paper. I finally finished scooping out all the cookies. Here's what they look like. Now I'll be putting them in the oven, but I can't film that one-handedly without possibly burning myself, because even though I'm spending all my time with my family, they still don't want to help me. All right, first 2 racks in. I'm setting a timer for 6 minutes. You can do 6 to 7, but I like my cookies a little undercooked. The cookies are looking pretty pale, but when you flip them over, their bottoms look nice, so that gives me hope.
Those are done?
I got all the cookies out of the oven. My brother stole one and said they were pretty good, so success. Okay, that's pretty good. Kind of dry. Yes, I cooked it too long.
If, at this point, you're just as bored as the rest of us, it may be a good idea to listen up during this next segment. Let's see what you should watch while you're stuck inside.
Hi, my name is Yabasera, and welcome to Quarantine Entertainment, where I'll recommend some shows that you can binge watch while social distancing. The first show that I'm going to recommend is called For Life. It, even though the main character's name is Aaron Wallace, the show is actually based on the life of a man named Isaac Wright Jr., who was wrongfully convicted of being a drug kingpin, and while in jail he became a lawyer and fought to overturn his conviction. So this is a fairly new show. Watched every single episode, and I can tell you that I really like it. Everything meshes well together. The acting is phenomenal, the plot keeps you on your toes, and as an added bonus, if any of you guys take AP/NSL or just NSL in general, this is a fun way to see how NSL topics apply or work in the real world. The next show that I want to recommend to you guys is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This show is a lighthearted comedy show. It's pretty funny. The actors are nice. I've only watched a few episodes of this, but from what I've seen, it seems like if you watched The Office and you really liked it, I think you would like this show too. Plus, this show is in its 7th season, so if you're looking for something to watch that you don't want to end quickly, this show is for you. The third show that I want to recommend to you guys is called Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. This show is also fairly new, just like For Life. But this show is like a musical. It's about a woman named Zoe who can hear people's thoughts through musical numbers, and she has to help them deal with their issues, otherwise the music doesn't stop. And I've watched every single episode of this as well, and I think I enjoy it. It's original, it's creative, the musical aspect sort of sets it apart from other shows and makes it what it is. And also it touches on some hard topics about life, like mental health, marital issues, abuse. but it's serious, but like not too serious. Take that as you will. Some people might not like that about it. Some people might enjoy that about it. I think it's worth checking out. So yeah, that's all.
Finally, we want to clap out for a different group of people making life in our community a little more bearable. Today, let's clap out for essential workers. Law enforcement and doctors to grocery store workers, we thank you for your work during these tough times.
That concludes this episode of Social Distance Television. Remember to stay safe
And check MCPS TV for more.